All right. What a day. Hello everyone. By the way, of course. Welcome to the stream for today. Speaking of today, what a day. I often say that sometimes you can sort of like just if you're having issues or stuff, sometimes just go to sleep and you wake up and it's literally get fixed. So kind of experienced that today myself. Went to bed, woke up, and it was like a dream come true. So thank you. All right. Today, I logged in and I finished the work for next week. Like my work for next week. So yeah, let's do a bunch of stuff today. Today's stream won't be long because like I'm aware of like how do I put it, time. Like if you are watching a 2-hour stream, it's going to take 2 hours, and of course it's not like people, you guys don't have stuff you're doing, so I'm actually surprised, not like surprised, but I don't know how to explain it, but I understand obviously that there wouldn't be enough time to watch 7-hour streams back to back and stuff. And I actually understood this from the get-go, and I didn't mean to stream like 7 hours or 6 hours a day or whatever, but like frankly, like how to put it, honestly speaking, yeah, that's the word, honestly speaking, ever since I found out you guys watch the streams, whenever, like before, I mean obviously I knew before, but like I didn't know as much, but the first time I was like, you guys are probably not watching. Am I just talking to myself? And then I just didn't stream as much. And then after the first time, I was like, oh my god, I'm sorry, I've got to make videos. And then I started streaming instead, but I wasn't really sure, like I wasn't really that aware that you guys were watching. So I would stream and I would like believe, I would hope, while I'm streaming, like I'm just trying to explain how I felt in the early days. I would hope that someone's watching. I would just hope. But honestly, towards like the end, I don't think I really like long streams then. But towards like at some points in the streams, or sometimes I would get on. Like right now, in order to stream, I had to get my internet ready, and I had to like restart my PC twice. So it's been 10 minutes since I got it on, and obviously the stream has been 8 minutes, 9 minutes. Basically, I had to restart my PC so I could. So like basically sometimes in the past, I would look at the setup and it's like, oh, well, the internet's not good. If I want to fix it, I'm going to have to restart PC a bunch of times until it like clicks. And I would just be like, okay, well, I mean, no one's watching anyways. I'll just go and not stream. But then ever since I found out you guys watch streams, it's like when I'm streaming now, it feels more, I spoke about this earlier, but it feels like, I'm there with you guys. So I end up getting carried away and losing track of time and just streaming for hours on end because again, honestly speaking, if this were like in real life, that's how it would be. I wouldn't want to stop talking to you guys, basically, right? So and you know, one day, obviously. Anyway, I will do a shorter stream today. The stream will be shorter, so it'll be a shorter stream, so you guys can. Oh my god, can you even hear me? I feel like my voice is very raspy. I haven't. Now I think about it, I haven't actually spoken today, except for the one meeting I had 5 hours ago with work. Except for the work meeting I had 5 hours ago, I haven't actually spoken today. So my voice is a little bit raspy. I apologize for that. And let's get the stream going. Okay, so I actually have a bunch of things that I plan on doing today. First would be, well, not in no order. This isn't like the order in which I'm going to do them, but I plan on getting the tweet out, the tweet for the slimy block. I want to fix the slime block and push the tweet on it, and maybe put it on my Patreon as well, probably free. Dump, unlock, coalescing. Oh, it's this thing. So I plan on doing that. What did it say? Unlock. Oh, it's because I renamed the thing before I. Yikes. Let's just fix it like this. And rebuild. Okay, so I plan on doing the slime block stuff. There we go. Doing the slime block, like this stuff, finishing it off. Maybe making the material like a little bit more slimy or something. And then I also plan on finishing this note system. I'm probably going to take this is probably going to take like a huge chunk of today. Finishing the note system to post on my Patreon for sure. What else? I should work on my one kill map a little bit, I think. I don't know if I'll have time for that because I'm aiming for like a 2-hour stream. Definitely not anything longer than 3 hours. Once it's 3 hours, I would just no, not like 3 hours, but like once it gets to within like 2 hours or something like that, I would shut down the stream and then I'll just continue working in the background. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, stream. Oh yeah, a bunch of things I want to talk about as well. I'm going to kind of like wait until you guys catch up before I continue, because right now we've been on 3:05 for a long time, so I'm just going to kind of like wait before I continue, because I feel like I'm getting closer to, you know, the current time, and I just want, you know, that to be kind of like fresh. So it's not that you guys are hearing me talk about stuff from like 1805, but it's like so far into the future, you know. So I'm going to kind of like wait until you guys catch up. So I definitely will stream less. Yeah, I'll stream less just so you guys can catch up. So, because basically I wanted to feel like I'm talking to you, like, you know, so it's the delay between the things I say and when you guys hear them. So the delay isn't like, you know, a few days, pretty much. Anyway, we are getting rid of this. I also wanted to talk about like yesterday when I got off. Because I got off, I went to bed. I actually woke up a lot earlier. And then I got back on to work on the, I don't know if I should show it. Like a little sneak peek. Yeah, I can, of course I can show it. Of course I can. What's gonna stop me? Anyway, I got back on to work on the thing. No. I actually need to change projects for this. Okay, so important. All right. One thing I wish, because I have 3 monitors here, and 1, 2, 3. Actually, all 4 of these are on the monitor that is, you know, to like my left that way. And then this thing is on the main monitor, which we can see. I wish whenever I alt tabbed, it only, like, there was a way to make it so it only just tapped between the thing on the monitor that my cursor is on, instead of showing me a bunch of other stuff. But oh well, it's okay. Okay, let's take a look while that loads. Let's just take a look at the item shop. Some things came in that were pretty nice. I'm going to turn on the sound for it. So, oh yeah, flashbang. Let's go. I'm blind now. Maps. Oh. Anyway, like I said, I am the number 1. Better believe it. Better believe it. Okay, I think it should be ready now. It is not ready. Did I cook too hard? Why does it take it so long? Okay. Okay. I'll give a sneak peek. I give a sneak peek. Open. I can just. No, I can't. So I'm gonna do that and then do this. So you guys know I worked on the stuff Figma yesterday, and I couldn't like change the color in Figma. Apparently Figma is just vectors, whatever. Couldn't change the color, so I did it in the material. Did a little nice stuff. I like the way this turned out. Then I got in the material and I changed the color here. All right, let's take a look. Actually, gotta bring this back. Take this away. And yeah, this is the. Whoa. Yeah, this is the look. Pretty nice, pretty simple, pretty clean. And then it moves around, and then this one moves around, and then you gotta hit, and then this kind of like cycles. And it's all nice and nice. Of course, I wouldn't show gameplay because, you know, confidential reasons. I shouldn't even have shown that, but who cares? Who cares? It's not the end of the world, is it? Okay, let's go back. And speaking of Figma, like I said, when I got onto work on this today in the morning, I accidentally, because I tried to change the color here, but I couldn't. When I was doing that, I came upon the thing that gave me the idea, which I wrote in my notes. Talk about mirror of Figma shared space. So I will do that now. Basically, if you go Figma, like I saw the thing and then I remembered the other thing. So look at this. This is pretty cool. If you and a person, if you and someone else, and I'm going to figure out how to do this here on stream, but if you and someone else are on the same project, so like I'm on the project here in like on the desktop, and you can actually see it working already. Let's actually split like this, and then we'll split like this. So turn this off, And it's just okay, that's the least. But you're working on a project, and you can see I'm gonna show with this thingy right there. But when I go over, you can see the person. I mean, it's me and me still, but look at this. You can see because right now I'm a user in the web, and I can see that person over here, and this is me on the thing, right? So I saw this and I remembered Miro, which is Miro is like it's something like this too, but it's specifically a whiteboard for this purpose. So I don't know. Like I thought about Figma first because I know a lot of people use Figma and you already have that. Um, but here, for example, if I in my like if this is me and then this is you right here, you're gonna be green for me and then I'm gonna be red for you. If this is me and I did like a text and I started typing, um, hello there. No, we're making like a thing, like a design, and it's called Baker's Paradise. Paradise. And then we do that, and I'm just gonna go up here and just chunk that up. Like you can then see it here, and then of course you can edit. You can edit the stuff. So basically, this is what I'm talking about, right? It's not the same as a place where you would DM, but basically, yep. So the way I see this is I need to be able to share this project somehow. And I'm kind of doing this right now for the first time. Ooh. If I do this, then you guys would, oh, then it makes everybody follow me. Okay, okay. Um, but then how do I share the project so that multiple people can, oh, it's right there. So I click this. Oh wait, no, wait. No, if I just do like that, and then I do share. Anyone with the link? Only invited people. Then like, how do I invite people? Oh, the link. I want to see what the link is like. Um, don't. I'm gonna do it off screen so I don't have 8 million people trying to join or whatever. Let's put this over here. Oh, the link is a link. Like I can't just. Maybe I can like shorten it or something. But then you click the link. Okay, now let me do this in another browser. So I can see another browser that I'm not logged into Figma, see how it would look like. Hey, look at that. There's now like 3 of us, I think. Yay! There's third person, and there's this person, and then there's the red me. We're all there hanging together. Oh wait, I can even see it on the other browser too. Oh, so you can, if I share the link, then you can do this, then you can like, you guys can like edit this file. Oh wait, no, you can't edit because you need to sign up or continue or like log in. If you're not logged in, you can't edit. No, I can see like the people who are connected. Okay, wait. Oh, I closed that and it kind of went out from here and from here. So now it's just 3 people, which are me, well, me and me. So I'm going to close this one and it should turn to 2. All right. I mean, this is Figma-ish. If I share the link, then you guys can work in this project. That would be cool. Maybe I'll make this the project because I don't have much stuff in here. Let me put this back to full screen. I don't have much stuff in here. Yep. So, okay, I have an idea. I'm gonna do this. Well, I'm not gonna do all of it on stream, but I'm gonna do some of it here. So let's just chuck that. I don't know. Let's put it over there. Okay. And then clear this up, and we're gonna make a thing, which is well, why does it start so small? Like, brother. Welcome. And Control A, and I'm gonna make it like 1,000. 10. Okay, buddy. Maybe like 1,000. And then do this and this, and then I don't wanna. Oopsie doopsie. Let's just do that, and then there. And I'm gonna do Arco. Yeah. All right. So, let's just top that up a little bit. So let's do some stuff. You know, let's kind of put this at 0 and 0. Then this can be 0 and 0. And it's on there. 1 second. Let's do kind of like alignment. Okay, you know what? I put it in a frame. I'll put both of them in a frame. Frame selection. So now I'll put the frame on 0 and 0. And it kind of like starts at the corner there. I don't know. And then this one can sort of like be in the middle. Like this. And then this one is kind of like in the middle too. Where's the frame? End. Oh, okay. I would just do like this. And then I don't even know what I'm doing. But we will do something like this, and I will put a thing at the back. So fill, image, upload from computer. I'm gonna browse my images. Wait, what? I mean, why did I pull it down? Like it's still gonna get up there. But let's just put something nice. I think I don't know. I'm not really that great with design. I think I've said this before. So I'm just gonna go with the flow. Holy moly, there is no thing to do with the flow. Let's put this, why not? So open that and then do effects. What am I doing, man? Brush, depth, dispersion, frost, display. I should like duplicate this and then take this off the first one and then take this one off the second one. And then 1 second. All right. Put the glass on. What am I actually doing? Maybe give it a stroke. I don't know. And then I don't know. Why is the glass just looking like not nice? It's not doing any refraction stuff. It's not looking like glass at all. Oh well. It's okay. Anywho, let's see. I think there's like a thing for a table or a line. I'm gonna do the line, right? So there's that one, and then we're gonna do thickness and just center. Take it up. Hey, why is it so big? Okay. So, that's too small. Okay. There's no divide. There's no division. Hello, person who just joined. Holy, I forgot to turn the music back on. Oh, let's do play. Actually, I only pressed the wrong button, but it's okay. All right. And yeah, I mean, it's something. I mean, obviously, what the hell is that? Oops. Obviously, it's not just restricted to this space. You can do any. I wonder if there's like a draw tool. Let me see. Pencil. Oh, there is a pencil. Can you change like the color of it? Oh, you can change the thickness. No, you cannot. You can only change the thickness before you draw. Okay. So, you know, you can draw stuff and write stuff. Oh, I should do this. Oh well, thank you for hanging out. Anyway, there's all this stuff you could do. So let's put this in, then I can have all this ones here. Hello, playtime. I am about to get started on the notes, the advanced notes. So, brother, how? I don't know what that's doing there. Oh, you know, I remember. Yeah, someone pissed me off when I was gonna make his map really quickly. Hello, Eileen. Welcome. I don't want to say your name before I butcher it. So I will make the thing for like the link for it, and I'll just figure that out. Another place that I found out, I thought about yesterday, was not thought about, but I remembered it existed. Right, is Miro, which is Miro, and it's kind of like the same thing ish. Shouldn't need to log in. Yeah, so you just do a thing, and you can kind of like basically the same thing, but you know, I think Figma is better because a lot of people already have Figma. So okay, let's actually start doing something. You know, I'm gonna take a little break from this note stuff. Playtime. Yeah, I'm going to work on it today still, but I want to make a material, and this is where it gets boring. Just fair warning. So I'm making a new shader today. It's called Tap. And it's going to be based off of. I keep making shaders based off of this guy's code, but his math is pretty nice. It's going to be based off of this. So this is the math for it, and this is going to be the effect. Normally. Oh, nice. Oh wait, so you haven't. Oh, you haven't. Oh yeah, you haven't started that much. Okay. Time for math and nodes. Let's kind of switch and set up a little bit. Light function, user interface. All right, let's start somewhere. Okay. We have a float 2, and this is going to be P. It's been a while since I've done this, and the Twitter needs a tweet, so unfortunately we are going to be doing that. What the heck is C? My days, bro. This guy likes to make his math like really condensed. And it's like okay. So wow. All right. Let's figure out what's going on here. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Oh, I don't think I might be able to do this one. Because it's looking like it has remarching, and that just is not very friendly. But let us try something. Let's try regardless. Do we have a square root function? Oh, we do. My first time using this. Going in this way. Oh my god! Like I need to write this out in a sensible way. In a sensible way. I don't have to put it up here because this is longer and I can just see all of it. So maybe not like that. Just like this. And then like this. This is actually pretty inconvenient, if I'm being honest. Yep. But we're gonna have to make it work somehow. Ouch. Control Shift T. Okay, okie dokie. And that was the first mistake. If I didn't make it long enough to see the entire code, then well, that would have been problematic. Because nope, I was right. Okay, so we square root. Oh, all right, let's start somewhere. Everything's gonna go in here. So this entire line goes into the square root, and then sort of like we're gonna do this one. I hate with a passion. I hate the way this guy writes the thing. Let's see. Let's get this simplified. Not like simplified, but just separated into different things. Like this. Let's start somewhere. I'm gonna start here. This entire line is going to be cosine of px divided by 1.2. So we're going to be adding 1.2 at the end there. 1.2. And we're adding it to, now the heck, like now the question is, what the heck is t? plus t. Seconds since playback started. All right, so that's time. Okay, so we do time plus time. Let's just get time out. So time, I'm gonna put time like way over here and make it into a reroute so I can easily use it over. What I need is at the top. There we go. Time. Just color it black, so I know it's a thingy. All right, you can just chill over there a little bit, little man. All right, so we do time plus time. So that is time. Plus f4 px divided by absolute by. And what in the world is... Okay, so that's p. I need to compute p first. Great. All right, so that's cool. All right, make this thing and call it p. Now p is equal to, there's a division here, so we're going to do divide, and ry comma b. So that is going to be a make foot to make vector 2, where the first one is going to be ry, and I'm pretty sure r is the resolution, the y component of the resolution. So we are going to do component there, and then mask, and we're just going to take the r channel, so the y channel. So this is x, y, z. Just take the y. ry is the top, and then the bottom is b. Great. What the heck is b? Let's see. Yeah, so r is viewport size in pixels. Main pass output from the... Oh my days. Or recursion, previous recursion iteration. Bx is 0.6. Okay, so this yeah, kind of hit a little situation. B is the sampler. We can't do that in UEFN. Like, we can't store. Let's think. Let's think. Okay, who would have thought that we would run into this problem? What is this though? If you can hear me. I don't know what is... Oh, okay, we're back. Okay, that was crazy. I said it was a sampler, but now I'm thinking about it. Obviously, it can't be a sampler because then it would be written like this. It's a two-dimensional thing, though. Let's kind of see. B. It's two-dimensional, right? Two-dimensional, and then x is 0.6. Wait, let me see. 1 second. If I change this to 9. How do I run this? Oh, that compiles that. Oh, okay, okay. I know what B is. B is an SDF. All right. Good. Critical thinking. B is an SDF. If it changed the shape of the thing, then it's definitely an SDF. Where, yeah, B is definitely an SDF there. But where is the B? Let's see this if it'll work. I've never written shader code before, but it's the first time for everything. Oh yeah, it's an SDF for sure. It is an SDF. So B is 0, and then okay, nice. Oh, would you look at that? And I do have an SDF which I'm gonna use. Let's get that out. I'm gonna get the one I have. Well, here I'm not Squircle. Let's go there. We're gonna use function shapes. So I have, yeah, I'm gonna use Squircle. I don't know what kind of SDF it is though, but we're just gonna hope that it is. Well, we're gonna use this one, and it's gonna do something with this one. So let's go Squircle. Okay, that was thank goodness we never gave up and back down. Squircle. No. Did I not expose it in the thing? M_square. Squircle. Okay, I did not. Let's do expose to library, so I can search for it in other stuff. So Squircle. There we go. Alrighty. So this is our. Let's just thought. So this is going to be our B. Yeah. So this is going to be our B. And the UVs here are kind of like what we can set. So 0 and then 0.6. Probably not a good thing. Let's just put like 0.2. Let me get the other one. Sort of use this to. This is also a thing that gives an SDF. So if I to do the width and height is Y. So height is Y and X is that. So we'll do X is this one, 0.6, and then the height should be 0, but I fear it will break. I mean, no, it shouldn't break. I guess that's gonna be it. If I were to take the length of this, then we'll kind of see the shape. So length, is it length? No, it's not length. can do the adjustment with an if node. So if we're gonna do 1, and then we'll make this a that, and then now we can sort of like see the shape forming. We're just gonna go with the squircle. Yeah. So B is an SDF, that's all that matters. So let's make a B here as well. Reroute and call this B. And B is going to be just a, for now, let's do a circle. No, let's do a squircle. We won't worry about the configurations, like the size of it and whatnot. We won't worry about those. So now we can make P, which is, so this is going to be B. No, that's not B, sorry. RY is the first one, and then this one is going to be, this one's going to be B. Okay. All right. So RY and then B, that makes this section here is this thing. So let me just do this. Put that there. And then 2CXY minus R. So C is something, which we gotta figure out now, I guess. Oh my god, please don't be something like I don't have access to. I don't know, it feels like Berg pulled C out of nowhere, because hold up. Oh, okay, hold up. These are like built-in stuff. So C is probably a built-in stuff. Sorry if you don't understand what I'm doing right now. That's okay. I don't understand either, but that's the. We're doing something. Is this C? Camera position, move with lost or thingy. So I'm getting the like why have it C there then if Oh, there's no camera, anything. You can't control nothing here. Alright, so I'm just going to like ignore this. Because I literally can't. If I. So one error. 2 XYs and an invalid number. Ain't no way. Like. I'm actually learning more about this the more I use it. Okay, so I think I'm looking at this and it's kind of looking like P is just centered. No, oh my goodness, of course it is. Of course it is. It's just centering the thing. Like this is just centering that thing. And I can prove it by rewriting this in a different way. So in Unreal Engine, let's say we've got this gradient right here. This is our thing, right? And in Unreal Engine, if I want to center this, you could do it, you know, however the heck he did it. Or I could just mathematically move it down here. So first of all, I would subtract, I'll subtract 0.5 from everything. Press the wrong button. I keep forgetting that subtract doesn't have a shortcut. I need to type it out. So subtract 0.5. And that kind of gives you 0 to 0.5. And then you just multiply by 2 to bring it back to the range it should be. So that's it. So you take this, subtract that, multiply by 2, and essentially this should be the P. Right? This should be the P. I think I did the thing he's doing and some other stuff. Let's see. I just need to find the flipping. I can't remember. No, it can't be here. I'm pretty sure obviously it shouldn't be there. And it shouldn't be here either because I probably realized that he was doing the same shit and I just did it my way. So then it should be somewhere else. Maybe here. Let's look for the red thing. And I did the same. Simple P. Okay, yeah. So it's basically... yeah, now I should just realize what it's doing and then just do it my way instead of doing whatever the heck he's doing. Yeah, so far I just do my way. So my way is just to do the subtract. Actually, now I think about the math-wise, but kind of like... Where is it? So yeah, what he's doing here is kind of like aspect ratio corrected. Is like a, you know, because for example, if I were to make this long, right, it's going to stretch it. But the way he did it would kind of like just keep the aspect ratio corrected and whatnot. Because you're taking into account the blah, blah, blah. But that's if you're not using the texture coordinate, if you're using like a screen space something. But yeah, no need for this convoluted P. I'm just gonna use the simple one, which is subtract that and then multiply that. And Unreal even has like a node that you can do both of them, kind of like it's called a constant bias scale. So I'll bias it negatively by 0.5 and then scale it by 2. and this should be the same thing. I'm thinking you could also kind of do this. If I raise this to the power of the inverse of 2. Okay, maybe, oh, yeah, power. Okay, let's say inverse of, wait, no, this is power. It's different from exponent. I'm looking for exponential. I mean, this is literally same thing. Now I think about it. Okay, so this is, yeah, I think this is what I was trying to do. It's a little bit different. I kind of want to see what's going on here. Let's see. Where's that if thing? So we'll do if 0, 1, 0, and then just plot this here. We can kind of control. Oh, we can make like a corner thing. Okay, so that's what this is doing here. Change the 4. No. Raise to minus 0.5. Okay, so yeah, this, I don't know. I just had an idea of something that would do something, but it doesn't. We're gonna stick with constant bias scale. It's pretty simple and straightforward, and we don't use 2 nodes for it. So there we go. P. That took a longer time than I would have liked to have spent, but we have our B and we have our P. So we are we're making progress. We're making progress. So no need to do. Okay, so this takes the camera stuff, gets the X and Y. Okay, now I know this. I can make the P, which would be C should be the same thing as this one. So it'll be this multiplied by 2, right? And then this multiplied by 2, and then just take both of them as already XY. We are going to subtract this from itself, in which case we can then divide this by component mask ry, and then we're going to append b. Append. Just hoping I'm clicking the right thing. B, and divide this by that, and this should give an error, I'm thinking. Nope. So let's take a look. So that's what it creates. And this whole step is kind of stupid because this is 2, then take 1 is just the same thing. So I'll just plug that in directly and get rid of this. So let's see if this is our P. I'm gonna do again. If S1, 1, 1. So this kind of like draws an angular thing. But then what if I replace it with this instead? And it draws it from the middle. But what if I replace this with this instead? Then it draws it across. Ooh. And since it's taking this as the B, I should be able to change. This is I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm kind of like learning stuff as I'm going. That's kind of like the whole idea with these things when I make these shaders. But let's do SDF. Ooh, so it's like the same. The SDF. Right, none of that matters. Oh, it doesn't because I'm appending this. This doesn't even need to be appended. Just take that and just flip it in directly. Yeah, because it's gonna be it's going to put it on the B. I'm gonna I'm gonna check if the P actually there's no way. There's actually no way. Now I'm looking at this, it's kind of stupid. Not stupid, obviously. He knows what he's doing. Hello, welcome back. Welcome back. Obviously, he knows what he's doing, but think about it. You have r dot, maybe something is sent this like explicitly typed. You have r dot y, so this is one thing, like it's a scalar value, and then you have b, which is like an SDF, like I don't know. So in my mind, I'm looking at this, and this whole thing is kind of like it's a 3 vector, and this is a 2 vector, and you're dividing, so, and this is a 2 thing, so it's pretty much getting rid of the so let's not divide by r, let's just get bx, so 0.6 and see 0.6. So get the append back somehow, append here, and then we're going to append one thing, and this will be 0.6. 0.6. Anyway, I am kind of not going to go with whatever that was as might be. I'm just going to go with this. Then I'm going to use this as my SDF again. Why am I making this? No reason specifically, other than just make a pretty thing and have that pretty thing sit in my file. Alright, so we have P and we have B. Now let's make O, which I believe should be the output. Yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll make O. We also have time, which is T. I should probably find that and bring it here. Why does this keep coming back, man? Like, sheesh. Alright, so we have time. That is T. So we have R is, we should make this actually. Probably, yeah, just leave it. So this is R. Oof, there we go. So R, we have T. And then we have B. And sampler is main. Then we have P, which is this last one, and we are ready to get going. Oh, help me. Okay, okay. Let's kind of like start over. So, where the hell do we start? We're gonna start here and making this expression. The heck is F4, man? Oh, wait, I think we're on the spot. One second, let me just clear all of these. All right, so we're gonna get the cause of this, and it looks like we're gonna add it to 1.2. So add 1.2. Closer. There, and then this is going to be cosine of, let's see, I'm gonna do, is that a plus or a division? Oh, it's a plus. Obviously it's a plus. I keep thinking it's the division, like the dot and then the thingy. It's a plus. So we'll do b y. So let's mask. I should probably like get bx. You know, I'm just gonna mask it every time. So by. No, I'm not gonna do that every time. Let's do it here. So we have b there, and then I get a break. Ooh, yeah, this is so nice. Break float 2. Pop that there, and then we just take this to I could just do RER and then go up 1. RER 1. Why is it doing? Okay, so this is gonna be B Y, and this is gonna be PX. Probably need to do the same thing for P as well. So this is going to be PX, and this is going to be PY. This is the unfortunate boring part about, well, boring for you, not necessarily fun for me, but I'm looking forward to seeing this over here. So, okay, so we have that now, and I can just go back to here. So we do cosine of px divided by absolute of by plus 4. So we're going to do add, not 4, 0.4. So we're adding the absolute. So absolute of beta y. Oh, great, nice. Of by. So that's this line. Like that's px divided by this. And then cosine. So that is kind of like, oh my days, it's not even. So we're gonna take all of this, which is right here, and then we're going to add time to it. Oh, time. We're gonna add time twice. And then we're gonna add whatever the heck this is. So I'm going to do all of this plus I'm just gonna multiply time by 2 instead of adding it like twice. Or let's just add it so it looks the way it's supposed to look. So we get time, and then we add it to itself. So this plus this is that, and then this plus this is that. Let's bias this downwards so we can go like that way. Alrighty. Now then we need to add F4, 6, 1, 2, and there's a comma there. If I remove this comma, it should give me an error. Yep. So it's, again, this guy just tries to not write as much as possible. Then that means there's a 0 there. So we are, so this is color, and the color is going to be a 4 there, and then we're just going to set this to 6. Oh my goodness. 6, 1, and 2, and leave that as 0. So it's a color. So we add this again. Oh yeah, cosine of everything. So let's just push this forward. And now I'm thinking about it, this should actually be at the back here. So we're getting the cosine of 1.2 plus, we can do another plus. So add then the color. Well, not the color, but it's the values, right? We can add this here. Then so this addition is kind of like this whole line. Actually, hold up. I think I'm doing this wrong. Hold up. BODMAS. All right, I'm doing it right. So BOD. So we're going to do the division first of this, and then we're going to add to this, and then we're going to add to this, and then we're going to add to this, right? Let's see where this is. This one starts and ends here. So we are going to do all of this and then add 1.2 and then get, I hope I'm getting the order right because there's another part, and then do the cosine. So this whole section is I just realized the brackets are, the parentheses are color coded. This whole section is there. Nice. We are making progress. I hope so. Because the worst thing that can happen, you see the way I'm building it? Like you can't tell, like I don't even have a preview. So I'm just gonna connect everything and just hope that I hitched it up in the right order. Otherwise, I'm gonna finish connecting and like it just won't look anything like this. Oh, that's the worst feeling because it's like, where the heck do I start trying to track down the problem? Okay, so we got this one, and then we are kind of going to multiply it by, where's the purple? Holy moly. Let's see. So the purple starts here. So this is one thing that we're multiplying by this. So this is a max statement, which means that we are getting the max between two things. And now I've got to figure out where the first thing starts and where the second thing stops. Oh, figured out. There, it's right here by the comma. So let's do this one. So we're gonna start with the max. I'm just gonna do the bottom part first. So max of the bottom part is by times by. So let's just do that, I guess. By multiplied by by. All right, and now the real hustle begins, which is going to be, let's do this one first. Exponential of okay. We're gonna do absolute of, we're gonna do this subsection of the cosine of by minus this divided by this minus this. So it's a division overall, and then we are dividing by subtraction here. So subtract by, well, px from by. So by, why does this, bro? Px. At this point, I'm starting to think there's like some circular dependency going on here. Because what the heck? Okay, so we have by minus this. The cosine of by minus this divided by, which is going to be right here. So that was supposed to be like this for divided by 10 minus t minus t. So 10 minus 2t. No, 10 minus t minus t. I'm just going to do it that way so I don't run into any issues. So we take subtract 10. Subtract t from t. Which should be... Bro, is he just writing this to confuse people? Because, like, it should be 0. Yes, here we are. I wonder if, like, I don't know how this compiles or whatever, if this is like the next second after this one. In which case, can I even get that, like the previous second, I know there's like a previous frame switch. Should I be using this? I'm actually, okay, you know what, whatever. Let's just carry on. And hope for the best. Like, what else can we do but hope for the best? Okay, so now we have 10 minus t minus t. And then we divided that by by minus this thing. And then we're going to get the cosine of this. And we're going to multiply this cosine by 10 then we're going to absolute everything, and then we're going to get the exponent of it. So we have this. That's here. Oh, Lordy help me. Okay. And then we have by times by as a thing that we just need to do. So let me just make that up real quick. By squared. By squared here. And we are going, oh wait, that is, oh wait, no, I've already made it. Okay. Because I realized that I need to divide this entire thing by this top portion. So this whole badunki is going into the second slot of the division box. And now we're going to make the top part, which is something plus, it's getting at getting added 0.2 at the end there. And we are adding kind of, I'm working like backwards, forwards to it, you know, but we're going to add this. What is this? This is the length between the length of some stuff. So we're adding, I mean, thankfully I could just check that in first. I think I didn't spell it right. Length. Okay. Length of something minus 0.5. So we're going to do subtract 0.5 at the bottom. And then we're going to handle this. This is the, we're going to do length of this and then subtract 5.5 from it. So this is kind of like a round. That should be there. And this should be here. So I know you can't connect things to themselves. Just disconnect, man. Okay, so yep, you do length of thing minus 0.5. So, and then you add 2 to it. So yeah, so subtract should be first. And then length should be at the back here. And 0.5 is this one. So now let's kind of handle what this is. We have P minus, this should be like clamp. I hope it's clamp. So let's do subtract again. And then we're gonna do subtract clamp. It should just be clamp actually. Because I can't like go to definition, so I'm just gonna assume that's clamp since it has 2. Let's figure out what CLM is then. What would that mean? I thought it would be clamp. Because if it was clamp, it would actually expect like 2 things, but this has 1, 2, and 3, so... Oh wait, or are these like the values? And okay, so clamp this value, but between these 2 values. I think that's actually a clamp still. Okay, I think I was probably a little bit stupid there for a second. Oh yeah. So we're gonna clamp P between minus B and B. So B will be max. And then minus B, we can get minus B by just multiplying by -1. So multiply B by -1. Nice. All right, happy with myself. Okay. So, yep, it's a clamp. Obviously it's a clamp. What did I think? It's not a clamp. So clamp this. So subtract from P the clamped value of P between minus B and B. Yep. And then you get the length of this, which is there. And then you subtract 0.5, which is this one. And then you take this whole thing and you add 0.2, which is that. And then you divide this entire thing by the okay, so this is kind of like where we're at now. Let's go. Okay. So we've got like this big division. Yo, hold up. Exponential, blah, 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 up, goes up to here. So we got this big division, and now we're gonna do the max between this big one and then B. So that goes into here. So we take this first section. So this is the entire of this. And then this is going to be go to the A of the max, and then in the B of the max we're going to just do B, like the by multiplied by by. Holy moly! What am I wasting? What am I doing? I'm sure you've noticed at this point I tend to ask myself that question a lot, like, because I start doing these things and I'm like, at some point I'm like, why am I doing this actually? Doing it for love. That's why. Okay, so we have this max here, which is, oh, it's my number. Look at that, it's literally my number. Okay, so we got max, and then the blue one ends here, so we need to multiply by our friend. This. Nice, we're actually almost done. Oh, let's go. So let me get this is all of this is all of this, and then so imagine if this just doesn't work. So we take all of this and multiply it by all of this, and then we take all of this, and it's gonna, like, we're gonna get a divide. We need to divide, so we're gonna divide. I typed in something here, so we're gonna divide 0.006 at the top by all of this. No need to like write, you know, make the thing. We're almost done because we're at the pink. We're at the pink bracket, which is this. Then we take this thing and we do the tanh of it. So we don't have a, wait, do we? Tan? No, we don't. But have no fear, because I've already made one before. Somewhere. Utility, probably. No, math. Why did I click you? Anyway, we get the 10th here. We're gonna use this. All right, so we have all these goodies, and we're gonna chuck it into the X. Now the X expects a V3, and I'm kind of skeptical about this man over here. I might need to switch to the RGB, but let's see. If we get an error, I mean, I wouldn't know if we get an error until I plug everything up, so just saying. If you see an error, I pretty much, from this, I would know where to go. So this is like the whole thing, and then we do the square root of this. I'm gonna use, it's like my favorite one. I'm gonna switch between both of them. Square root. And if everything went well, this should be the final. So, oof, let's get this out of the way and hope for the best as I connect. Okay, that was interesting. Now let's see, for the moment of truth. Oh, I mean, something's happening. The fuck is that? That's not the problem for sure. Is it because I'm using Squircle? Let's try with another SDF. Where's the color though? Oh, thank you. Thank you for the kind words. That makes you the first person to say that that they would want to watch doodling math that ended up in failure, but I won't stop. Thanks. Let's see if the SDF shape will change the output. It does. So the problem is kind of like from the output I'm thinking. Just to recap, this is sort of what I'm supposed to be getting, right? Actually, now it kind of makes sense. It's kind of twiddling around, like in a circle, and then there's a thing. Okay, I think I'm getting what I'm supposed to be getting, but I'm just missing the color. Right? Like the colors is doing something. Let me try without the tanh, because the tanh is supposed to do it like a tone mapping. Let's try this one. Like you'll see why I have 3 of them. I mean, maybe you won't see the YouTube compression would absolutely kill it. All right, I'm pretty sure this is working as intended. Let's slow it down because it's kind of tripping me up a little bit. So divide time by like 10. 20. Does time even matter? 100? It is connected. Oh my goodness. Oh my holy moly. What the heck? Time, not texture. That was crazy. There we go. All right, let's slow it down like real slow. Maybe not that slow. Oh. Damn, like what's your Discord? I mean, if you want to share, I will remember. I hope I do. But a couple of years ago. Well, I don't know if I'd say I'm glad that you're on, but because at this point in time, honestly, I wouldn't wish UEFN upon my worst enemy. I'm already in it, so it's like, okay, you're kind of here, so you gotta stay. But I wouldn't tell anyone. Just because of, I mean, okay, it depends. It depends on your motivations. If you're trying to make money, then I wouldn't wish this upon anyone. But if you're doing it for the love of the game... Oh, yikes. And that must have been a very long time. Wow. Wow. 0.6. So I can set the width of it. I can set the height of it too. So this setting is kind of closer to, you can kind of tell that it's the, let me see. Oh, wait, the clicks, my first superpower box fight was the clicks box PvP with, oh my day, that was like at the end of 2023-ish. That was, okay. Damn, that was a long time ago. It does not feel like yesterday. It feels like a long time ago. Well, I'm glad to. I hope you've been doing great. I hope you've been doing okay, and or better than okay. Glad to see you're still alive, man. Let me try and do some things to get color on this, because we've got the patterns, and now we just need the color. I think that would be something good. Get this color palette. I feel like I went wrong somewhere, because I should have color going in after the thing. So I definitely went wrong somewhere. But for now, let me just kind of visualize maybe what's going on the values. Alert between 0 and 1. Okay, that was just terrible. Between red and blue. Maybe not red and blue, red and green. So it's not really good colors. Great. So the motion and like the UV calculation, I think it's there, but it's somewhere along the lines of here that I'm missing the color stuff. But we are fast approaching. I think it's like here, because the way I'm looking at this, BX should be set like in this little section here. It should be, sorry, BY should be set here, which should do something, and then that eventually gets used here. So I'm gonna find the length clamp and set that to BY. So not this. BY is going to be, oops. So BY is going to be the length thing somewhere. And that's why I wrote the things I wrote up here so I can easily find it. So BY equals that. Once I find the length, just chop that into BY and hopefully. All right. So that's not the move. Did I check that right? BY. Oh, it's not just the length, it's minus 0.5. Okay, let's put that length. So put this to BY and see. Okay. This is kind of looking a lot more accurate in terms of what the thing should be doing. Like you see kind of like does a little, this section grows bigger and then this one grows bigger. So it's kind of like looking inverted, but it's looking like it. So this should be BY. So yeah, like getting this fixed, I might even need to do the P properly or something. But getting this fixed to get the color is definitely just a matter of reordering the operations and stuff like that. it. I'm just going to be tweaking some values around and seeing what that does. I feel like I'm really close then. Oh no, man. Alright, so that, and then multiply by 10 doesn't actually do, I don't know. Wow, since the clicks box PvP, that was a very long time ago. I think it might be from here. Right, because I'm supposed to do a minimum of B, but then BX is getting set after here, BY. So this B is not correct, basically. Because I feel like this is something I can't do in UEFN. Probably because of the whole T thing. So if I take... If I were to just plop this in here like this now, and then I took vector 2, and I made B out of this one and BY, that would give an error because of course it's going back into itself since I'm doing B over here, and then this value is eventually going into BY. So I feel like I can't, I don't know, at the very least getting the color into UEFN. I was honestly skeptical when I saw this definition of T here, not seconds since playback started, but not this one. Where is it? Yeah, this main pass output from the previous frame, or the previous recursion iteration. So when I saw this, oh, and you can see it's like the main thing. When I saw this, the first thing that came to mind is that like it's looping on it, it's looping in on itself, so it needs the previous one, and then that gets fed into the new one, and that eventually like adds up and gives the final result. Which means that, like, especially when I saw this thing, I think I made a comment on it. Damn, it actually hit, and it's not fun. This is one of the parts where UEFN struggles, because we're not able to store the current like set thingy. Like maybe I could get around it by making all of this into a material function. And then looping around, yeah, it's just going to, it's not, I don't know. I don't think it's going to work out well, honestly. So the best thing I can see myself doing is sort of like using this and, I don't know, doing something with it, with other stuff, to manually put the color there. I can't even remember where I do color stuff. So this is where I do the color, for example, if I change this thing from this to that, even though it's not equipped too much. Colors, very, very sensitive. But this is where I'm pretty much adding color into this. Well, not adding color. If I multiply this by 1, then you see it's kind of like black and white, but it's not black and white, like it has these values. But then I'm then doing that thingy over here to give it color. So I could basically sort of like do this to the thing. But obviously I'd have to like copy all of this. This is how I had to do for loop. I had to put it in a function and then loop over itself, but I can't even start imagining where I would break out here. I guess we got the movement though. We got like the UV movement, but that's as best as I can say we got. What is this? Let's see. Just do mask RNG. And we are going to get a texture of Mona Lisa. See what we get. This is like the easiest. I think I've put this into the UVs and put that in there. Just gonna get the thing from here. Put that there, put that there. And if I were to make this bigger and use the same for the height. Oops, no, the width. At this point, I'm just playing around and trying to see if I can make this useful in some way. Oh, I can change the corner radius of the. Because again, it's an SDF. Let's make a simple SDF to replace this. We're gonna use this one, right? But before this, we're going to do an absolute and then a length to get like a circle SDF. It's pretty useless. Damn. Well, it's all a learning experience, isn't it? Kind of hurts. I was hoping it would turn out nice, but I don't know. I'm not willing to go in and figure out how to figure out. Not even figure out. I can just feel it. I could just sort of like feel it that it's because of, you know, being the previous frame output, so it's stacking on itself, and you just cannot do that. I was trying to make this. I was trying to make the shader in a material. I've done some of. Okay, I already know this is like ray marching stuff, and I'm not about to try it. Last time I tried ray marching, my editor froze. And this one too. Like when you see this, you're just gonna see like a for loop. Yeah, this one has 80 iterations. What this means is if I was trying to make this, I would have to write this code in kind of like in a function like this, right? And then I would have to set it up and do this, but like 80 times. Why am I making the material? I mean, like, I guess you could say for fun. Plus, in the game that I'm making, you're going to be able to like put wallpapers. So, all these shaders are, you know, they're gonna be like wallpapers you could choose. Like animated wallpapers. My hope, I mean, you can call this like a tall tale, but in the future, maybe some people would put on my Fortnite map, like when we get like full thin client, people would load into my Fortnite map and like put the wallpapers on their TVs and just like go AFK or something. Anyway, but for right now, I'm just making these for fun. Plus, you know, it's a learning experience. This also, like whenever I see a for loop, I'm out. That's it. I see a for loop, I am out. Nor. I don't think we have this expression. I'm not about to try and do this. Oh, okay. Yep, I'm not trying to do that either. Light ring shader. This one should be like super easy. But it's not that cool looking. So let's see, fit. We get the frag, so xy multiplied by this times that. Minimum this. Okay, so this is like just another way to calculate. Yeah, so far. Okay, well, since this is your first time here, these are the ones I have. I should just do like 512. It has infinite resolution since it's math based. So honestly, I can just crank up the resolution here and there, and it should be like really high quality. So this is the first one, and then I did use that one for something, so I'm using it in my pin pad as a button. This was the second one. This one is kind of like the color palette of the first one, but it's just a circle. And then this was the very first one I ever made. It's also kind of like my favorite one of them all. Yeah, the first one I made specifically. I can show you the button for it. Pin entry, assets, buttons. So let's go. When you hover over it, it does this. And then when you click the button, it does that. So I'm using that in here. All these buttons, they will do that when you click on them. And then I also use the material kind of for the close button. When you hover, it gets this, like in the center, that's the same thing. And then when you click, it does that. And then for this button as well, just like a little bit stylized of it, it does this. And then clicking would actually shrink the hole, but I can't show that here because the button has to be like done first before the clicking will do the whole stuff. And then for this one, it's just smaller, but the stuff in the middle is a square and not a circle. So yeah, I specifically made it for about thanks. I made it for the button for the pin pad, which the pin pad, like this system, you can actually make any pin pad design. Like you just come here and move things around and it would just work. But the first inspiration for this was actually Fortnite's, if I can go in, Fortnite, let me go here, go to parental control settings. So this is what I recreated. I don't know why my Fortnite froze. There we go. So this is what I recreated, but you know, I made it like a little bit different with the things on the bottom. And it even has this feature where it I can like make it so you don't see the numbers. Like there's number version, and then there is not number version. You just put it in the stuff that you put it. Okay, so material. This one is not really my favorite, to be honest, but it exists. Yeah, it's supposed to be like silk. That's what I hope it looks like, silk with the silky colors. And this one, This one is actually like specifically a material for, you know, wallpaper stuff. But basically, if I pause the time, you're able to, you know, swirl an image with this one. For whatever reason, maybe you want to do like a game that is like reveal the thing, and then the more you do it, you're just gonna like reveal the picture until, you know, the picture reveals whatever. But for now, it's early. Okay. I want to make a shader, a new one today. I haven't added anything, and this was supposed to be the newest edition, but it looks nothing like what it was supposed to look like. This one is gonna be super easy to make. Yeah. But it's just that it's not really. It's just that. So I'm not gonna do that because it doesn't. I don't know. It's not cool enough. PZ. No, I'm not doing any. Nor I'm not doing any for loops. I'm not doing any of that. Oh wait. Okay. Nope. I caught it on time. This one looks pretty simple. Yeah, it looks pretty simple, but it has the same issue with the other one where it uses S2. Either way, I'm not making that. I'm not making this either. This looks cool. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this line is pretty straightforward. Multiply cos mob length u time. This line is also pretty. And there's the for loop. Oh, but it's just 9 times. I think I can actually make this one. I think I can make this one. I mean, I could probably make this one because it's not doing a lot, but I don't know. I've already done a bunch of black hole things. Actually, now think about it. Not to mention, it looks like the plasma one. It looks like this one, kind of. And I've actually done like a black hole related shader before as well. Black hole something. I mean, you can't tell it's a black hole because I need to put some background on it. Let's do Epic Headquarters. So I've done black hole related stuff before, so let's kind of skip. Okay. I mean, no offense to you, but like, this doesn't look that like it's. I could take the spinning thing, the spiral one, and just make it go bigger or something, and it would look like this. So, why did I even click on it? Like, when you see some stuff, at some point you're able to tell, like, okay, this is going to be simple to make. This that looks cool. That looks really cool. F2B. Let me see. Nope. If I see something with this, I'm not trying to make it. It's just probably will not work in UEFN. Or on, well, in Unreal you have like the custom nodes, so you could, I don't know, maybe you can make it work there. Ooh. No, man. This is actually pretty straightforward too. So you do the circle, you do the thing, the stuff to put the position, then you do length p minus 1 to get the circle, and then you just do, wait, I don't see b anywhere, so let's go for this one. This one should be like really quick, really quick. What's the name? Gloss. All right. I need a win today. You know, Max, I need a win today. So let's do gloss. Mistake. Am I for building? I'm on the score. I shouldn't be calling it this. I'm just gonna call it like gloss ball, because in case if I have like a gloss material in my project, that's gonna mess up inverse. All right, glass ball. Gonna go with glass ball, and let's pop in. So UI. Let's see where the square is. 12. 5, 5, 12. Okay. Let's kind of bring it in a little bit. Sorry, you guys. Flashbang moment right there. Let's do a little darker. Oh man, I cannot scroll for the life of me. Control Shift T, and we work here. So, like, what does this say? This divided by that, divided by this. I'm just gonna go with let's do it like this. And I'm gonna go get P from here. No P. Okay. Let's check in here then. No P here either. I'm going to do in plasma. I know I have a simplified P, alternate P with full screen with aspect ratio correction. So that's probably what's going on here. Yep, divide by the Y thing. And then we have like smaller P here. So let me go with this one. And then I'm going to divide by 0.9. So it's like closer. So this is what this one is. It kind of like stays the same regardless of where you, that's the whole aspect ratio correction thing. I'm not going to use it though, because I know for a fact I need like a centered coordinate stuff. So get rid of that, plop that in, and it should be like black and then 4 colors. Yep, there we go. But it is inverted currently. Divide by 0.9. Okay, so we got P. I'm not even gonna try and make things look nice here. Just gonna plop that over. And then L is going to be length. So this should give us like a circle, length of P. So we got length P, and then subtract 1. So yeah, circle. Boop, boop, boop. Now let's move on to the meat of it, which is getting the colors to blend in, which is going to be this one. So right out of the bat, you got this, and it's kind of sandwiched between this and this. So which one goes first? Do I add 5 to this and divide by 2, or do I divide this by 2 and add 5? And for that goes our trusty old PEMDAS. So divide first and then add after. So we are going to get my functions, math, and H, plop that here. Divide first and then add later. So divide by 2, this result. And then add 5. Add 0.5, 0.5. And this is going to be like the output, but I'm not going to connect it just yet because it will give me an error. All right. So divide by 2, add 5. So all I need to do is just do all the things in this bracket. And we have quite a bunch of stuff. I'm going to do them individually. So first of all, we have 0.1. And then we have max negative L. So that's going to be multiplied by -1. Multiply L by -1. So negative L and then L times 10. So that's multiply. Oh, maybe just do the same L right here. Multiply L by 10. So L times 10 and negative L, that's the max. Okay, there we go. Crisis averted. What am I doing? Don't focus on arranging stuff, just do the thing. So max L blah blah, and then next we have kind of like another setup of the same thing. So max 1 and negative L times 10. That's L times -1 times 10, which is just L times -10. And then we do the max of that, so that is kind of like this line. And then we have PY, so mask, and then we just get the Y, check, nice. We have PY, and then we have L. So, and then we have max of this. And we have T too. Okay, so I get time. I'm going to take my time and just like go through everything and do it, you know, in the order. And then we have 1, 2, 0, 0. So no, Oh my, no, it's 0, 1, 2, 0. 0, 1, 2, 0. Gotta be careful. All right, let's put them together like Legos. Let's put them together like Legos. So we're gonna do all the we're gonna do all the multiplication first. So py and max. So py multiplied, no, wrong thing. Multiplied by this one. So we got these two. Multiplication. I'm going to do all the divisions, which we don't have. So we're going to do all the additions. So now I pretty much know that it's like, this is a section. All of this are just going to get added to each other. So starting from the bottom, I'm going to go up. Add time. And then I'm going to add this concoction. Then I'm going to add L. So L plus this and then I'm going to get the sine of this. So all of this is the sine part. So max of this one is that one. Okay, so we have 0.1, then we have the max, then we have the sine thing. So sine thing, 0.1. Now we have like division and subtraction. So we're gonna do this division first. So 1 divided this divided by the max thing, and then we're gonna subtract the sine thing. Please work. Please, 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 please don't make me look stupid on thingy twice. All right, and then we're gonna take all of this and chuck it into the tanh thing. And like magic, we should get that, hopefully, please. Oh, I haven't connected. Okay, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? No color, again, nice. So that seems to be like a recurring problem. I think I'm missing something. I'm not sure if it's from here, like in the P. It can't be. It shouldn't be. But, yeah, the math work. The math checks out. If you can imagine the color, then there's like, you know, it's not very smooth. But I'm gonna chuck that up to just Unreal, being like the way it calculates shaders and the way this is HLSL and then this is GLSL. So like there's little differences. But I still wonder where's the color though? Did I see color there for like a second? When I type, I see color in the thing for like a bit. Okay, so let's tweak this value. This might be the problem. I'm going to manually make this so I can tweak the values. So let's get rid of that. I do that 1, 2, 3, and let's see what the colors are. someone just getting it wrong? 0, 1, 2, 0. Let me see. Let me try something. So 0, 1, 2, 0. And then to the power of 2.2. So I'm starting to think it's like a conversion space problem. Yeah. If I drag this number up, I can get the color. So let's see. I'm starting to think it's like it's a conversion space, like color space problem. So let's just go back and add this to the other one that failed horrendously, and maybe we might get something nice. Let's put in the square SDF. Plop this in here. Yeah, okay, so the color thing is definitely like a conversion space issue with the values. I don't even want to look at this, man. This is just, it's not beautiful at all. All right. Well, I don't know if I'll call this a success or a failure. I'm thinking usually for stuff like this, you'd have to do more iterations, like more repeats of the operation to get a smoother outcome. And I can only show this with one of the successful ones that I've done, which is this one. Right? Let me plop this down here for a second. But basically, if you basically doing it one time, this is what you would have gotten. If I did it one time, this is what it looks like. Right? And then I take this and I do the same things on it again, and then it kind of gets a little better. And I do the same thing again, gets a little better. I keep doing the same operation on but I needed the previous result. And then it kind of gets smoother the more you go. And by 6, it's looking okay. But it still has the noise, like the lines from the noise. And I just get rid of those lines by just repeating the operation on itself and just, you know, kind of like chopping an onions and just keep dicing into it until at number 10, I was like, okay, it's pretty good. Right. But this is how it would look if I didn't repeat. So I basically take the current one and the F thing and I just pass it over and over and over again. So I know that if I did like this setup of just, you know, reiterating on the same stuff to this one, it would get rid of the lines. I don't know. I just don't want to do that right now, to be honest. So I'm going to fix the color and call it that there. The color is correct, but just need to convert to, you know, a space with actual color in it. Oh wait, I mean, you could do it that way. I think you should be able to also take this color and plop it in here, but change it to hex linear. Maybe that will work. No, it doesn't. So just manually raise it to 2.2. And obviously I didn't get this. I didn't get this value out of nowhere. If I were to say converting to SRU mathematically. single power approximation where you just simplify, just raise it to the power of 2.2 and it will get you from that to that. But of course it's not exact, whatever. We don't care about exact stuff here. So I'm gonna call it this for today. It's not quite, but it has the colors that it should have. Oh wait, I didn't even try other. Yeah, so this is like nicer. Again, now this is the same thing with the whole approximation stuff. There are times when you have like an approximation, and there are times when you try to get the actual value of it. So usually we just raise it to the 2.2 to convert the color space to thingy, but this one just tends to have like, it doesn't compute it properly. So I prefer rational approximation. It's kind of softer. I wonder if let me try some randomness. So multiply. Let's just get this in here, and then we're gonna do S1 multiply by that. 4. And then divide by the same thing. Let's see what that does. Should like step through it like a picture, like a slideshow. So I can set the FPS this way. So 24 FPS and it's 12 FPS and it's like stop motion. Sorry for your eyes. Anyway, I'm not even gonna try to do this up. We're moving on. To more shaders. Hopefully I can get a nice. Absolutely not. Pretty simple. And then there's the S2B, of course. Oh wait, no. Oh. Wait, let me see. XY, so the same P stuff. And then length stuff. Oh. Okay. So I already have the things from the first one. I could just use that. Well, this is basically what you do whenever you want to make a circle thing. And then 1, 0.4, 0.2, 0, max 1, this, that, exponential mod dot I don't know what the C is. It says that it's something. Camera, 3D position, camera, whatever. So I'm gonna skip that because I don't know how to get that in UEFN. Let's not do circular stuff. I'm just gonna stop here for today. Like, isn't this cool? This is all just... Okay, never mind. I thought it was math, but there's a texture in there. Oh man. I think I'm gonna stop here with the shaders. I'm not seeing anything that... Return cosine 4. Oh, does this like go endlessly, infinitely? Where does it stop? C less than 1 is equal. Oh, it goes from... Okay, so it goes from 0. We're gonna do 10. Okay, so it's 10 times. Scroll is okay, 0.3. Time, sign, shift. Yeah, this one's totally doable. I'm gonna save this one. I will do this one on my own time. But for now, let's do some UEFN stuff, because it's a UEFN stream after all. What UEFN stuff do we do? No more materials. How can I make this better, actually? That's actually so blunt. It could be cooler, but I don't want to do. I don't want to do specific things that are like too specific. Maybe I might make different styles of it. So like a notebook, but then that's like texturing. I'm actually getting tired, and I promised I wouldn't stream for more than 3 hours. So what do we do? That can be done really quickly. Maybe work on my map. I notice I've been putting that off an awful lot. So let's do that. On my 1v1 map, I have player spawner done. I have yeah, so we're gonna do instant reload. We're gonna do instant reload, which should not be hard to make, I believe. Okay. Let's do it in here. I'm gonna make new file. What do I call it? Combat type. Combat utilities. Call it that. Yep, I'll call it that. So okay. Let's put it here. Make this instant. Reload. Underscore component. Alright, what the heck? I am so lost. Oh, oh. Good lord. Okay. Okay. Um, let's do. I don't need this one. So we'll do load. Then I don't think it should be suspense. And then we will do. Oh, okay. So then. Holy moly, I am tired. Kind of. Let's get inventory, hotbar inventory. Why do I feel like I'm going to have to do some crazy, like the craziest, because this gives the items, but I need to construct the items again, but like, maybe not construct the items. Like if I remove the item component and then put it back, put a new one, and then give that to them, will it like put the ammo back? All right, let's see. Item. Oh, I just have this crazy feeling I need to do some weird comparison to all the items in the game. And then... I need to know which one to give them. Let's see the items. Itemization. Weapons. I would have to like... Oh, man. Okay. Damn. Maybe, obviously not all the items, but just the ones in the game. Alright, so I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to check the items in the game, and I'm going to have an editable of items in the game. Editable items type entity. All right. So how do I do this? I want to create a thing. Let's say if hotbar is this, do comp that items equals that, and then we'll do new items equals that, and then make this a variable array of entity, and then let's say for item and items, I'll go through all the items in the game. For item and items, if if I can cast the item to this, then I will create this one. Okay, so this is going to be very slow at the start, the way I see it. Let's go through all the items in the game. So for each item, in items, for game item, in items in game, item cast item, then let's do it this way because it's going to be multi-line. New item, let's call it fresh item. Colon equals game item, and this, but then it's not a macro. So we need to do like a concrete thing, which I'm doing somewhere here. So fresh item is this, and this is game item. All right. So basically, you have this, but this is just the subtype. What you need is a concrete subtype. That's what you can make an instance of. But if you put concrete subtype here, then you would only be able to select individual items, not what type of item it is. So this is basically what type of item it is. So shotguns, stuff like the specific thing. And then this is an instance of that item. So an object, like an actual instance of it. And then I would set, so now I'm just going to move this to here. That. I'm just going to set new items to this. Plus equals array of that. This is the slow way, but for now I just want to see that it works. I'm also going to get tests, and then on simulate I will do, well, maybe not on simulate, cursor interaction. I will do reload weapon. And this should be it pretty much. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just going to use this one. I know it has a thing, so put that there. And I will put my reload, instant reload components on it. And as for the items I have in the game, assault rifle BR preseason, that's one. Two, three, four. So assault. Rifle BR preseason rare. Right. Okay. And then I have enhanced havoc. And then I have shockwave grenade. Shockwave. I mean, it's gotta be this one. I mean, you're not gonna reload a shockwave grenade, realistically speaking. But I do need to have all the things so that it can re-add everything back, or it wouldn't re-add the things that aren't in the list. So then shield potion rare. There's a green shield potion? Wait, what the heck? Oh wait, no. What? Shield potion. Oh, okay. So there's a big pot, and then the small one is the mini. Okay. See chapter 5, season 1. Chapter 5. All right, nice. So then, let's see if we can insta reload without the save device. The goal for my 1v1 is just pure performance, no devices, and all these things wouldn't exist until, I mean, they would exist, but like in memory, but they wouldn't be like rendering and stuff because I would remove them and stuff. Not to mention, they would be cheaper because, like, if when you drop a save device in your island, you're getting more than just the ability to reload guns. Right? You're getting more than the ability to reload guns. You're also getting persistence handlers and all that extra stuff that you don't really need. If you drop a mutator zone in your map, you're getting more than just a zone to detect when a player goes into it. You're getting the components that handle like listening for emotes and all that stuff. So that's the difference between and obviously I'm not gonna make, like, this is the last 1v1 map I'm ever making. You could even say it's like my second 1v1 map to date. I've only ever really made one 1v1 map for myself. Others have been commissions or work for others. And I made that 1v1 map a very long time ago. And I was also then pursuing like low delay. And actually, I was the first person to make a simplistic 1v1 map. The name. At the time to like try and reduce delay. The entirety of even the spawn area, which was way over there, that would go away when you could disable. You get the point. It was as little things as possible. Map wise, I'm making I've actually pivoted towards social experiences. So maps of just people hanging out, and like I want to make maps that are activities that people do together. So whether it's just the one big map would just be like a a hangout map, and then there's gonna be like activities scattered around that you could do, which is what the whole um, tic-tac-toe thingies are. They're just gonna be in there. But then I also want to make a board game map, so a map with like board games. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna call the one I've already made first: chess, Ludo, Scrabble, you know, Wordle for daily Wordle, like board games, like just board games, not not necessarily specifically board games. Like you might be able to like play card, like not gambling versions of cards, but like Uno and stuff. Not Uno specifically, please. Mattel is pretty known for for going after people with copyright strikes, but you know, board games, basically thing, and chess, whatever. And just after that, that's pretty much maps that are for like the main focus would be just social maps that you could do stuff with a friend or meet people or hang out or just yeah, puzzles initially I actually classified, because if I go into my sticky note, because I have like a list right over here of some of the stuff. Some of these are puzzles, like this and this. These ones are puzzles. Like this one is not a puzzle actually. Yeah, but and then there's some other lists in some other places which has more puzzles. Initially, I was gonna like chunk them up with the board games, but now the puzzles are getting a lot that I'm thinking that I would separate them, right? Because, for example, I was going to have um, this one, which is the sliding tile puzzle, together with the tic tac toe, which is a board game. But then I thought about it, and um, I would I would separate them. So there would be a board games map, there would be a puzzles map with lots of puzzles and separate. I don't know if I will separate them. It just depends. If I can get the one map, the first one, because after the 1v1 map, the 1v1 map is more so because I'm gonna build the things, like I'm gonna make the 1v1 map purely scene graph. I've just, that's like a passion project to make a 1v1 map that has nothing in it and you load and things only come in there as you go. But apart from me making the 1v1 map for myself, the things that I'm going to make for the 1v1 map will make my work at Hive a lot easier, because that's a 1v1 with every gun. I could port in some logic there. Like if we ever decide, okay, we want to use custom vending machines, I don't have to make it from scratch. I can just, like, for example, bring in this one that I've made already. So that's kind of another reason why I'm making this 1v1 map, so I can easily, like, I mean, like, you look at the tic-tac-toe that I made there. I made this tic-tac-toe way before I joined Hive, right? And then I joined Hive, and at some point I was like, okay, what challenge are we going to do for the week? And how to get the pancake LMG, I think it is, yeah? Yeah, pancake LMG, and 1v1 with every gun. And I was like, okay, well, let's go to the official. Let me mute this, it's gonna be loud. Come on. Oh, it's silent. I forgot it's silent. Oh yeah, I was watching the video and I stopped talking, but I forgot I muted the video. I'm just unmuted, so it's playing. Tic-tac-toe minigame where you have to beat me a few but basically, times to unlock the weapon. Once you beat me, you'll unlock. Basically, some of the stuff I do in my own time, I kind of reuse for, not like reuse, but I would. In this case, I'm not reusing this because, I mean, the way I made this tic-tac-toe specifically, I can add new styles. So I could, if I wanted, I could make like a paper version where it's like you're playing with like a paper. And I actually want to do that too, like because it would be cool. It would look like you're writing with ink for the thingies. Anyway, the 1v1 is not the end goal. Like, if not for the fact that Fortnite just released, itemization, I wouldn't have been, I wouldn't be working on the Wolves one. All I've been working on since actually practically since last year is the social map, and you know, that's like my main goal map wise. If I like, it's my main goal map wise to just make social experiences that people play together with their friends, and just because the thing is, you go in a map with your friend, and if you're not just talking to each other, like what are you doing? Like what are you doing? You're not doing anything, right? You're just there. Um, but then you think about like in real life when you go hang out with IRL friends. So this is my new banner. Creating social games where players can hang out, make new friends, and have fun together. IRL, you go out to go hang out with your friends. You're gonna be doing something, right? Either you're watching a movie together, or playing a game together, or something. So I want to recreate that experience but for people to be able to do it, um, you know, online, basically. So it's heavily social maps are not new. We've got mic up, we've got VR chat, we've got all these things. It's that kind of space, but with an emphasis on having a lot of activities that you could do. Why is this taking so long? Having a lot of things you could do, like a lot of things, a lot of random things. We're gonna have like the standard board games. You're gonna have the occasional TikTok thing that you see on TikTok. You're gonna have the occasional thing you see like a trend. That's why I like Scene Graph, because it allows you to, in my opinion, it allows you to make really, really anything. You know, I look at whenever I watch TikTok and I see some filters, I'm like, okay, I can make this in Fortnite, and that's actually what led to the baguette thing. The baguette stuff was let me actually see if I can find it. Bread, nope. Bread cut filter TikTok. Yeah, literally there, first video. Oh, I'm loading in. Nope. No. This. So it's 5 cuts to win, and it's usually, I guess, one person or two people playing together. But like, you cut the bread, and the bigger half goes away, and you try to make 5 cuts. Right. So this was literally what I saw, and I was like, you know, okay, this looks fun. I played it with my little brother, my little brother. I played it with my little brother, and I was like, okay, this looks fun. And I thought for a second, wait, I could probably do this in SingGraph. And apart from like the making the stuff or making maps to make money, like it's fun for me to, it's like when you solve a puzzle, it's fun for me to think about how to accomplish this, you know, when we have like limited stuff. And so that's kind of like, it's a little bit of a rant, but that's pretty much what I want to make. And here we are. We, for example, got that, and you know, yeah, I mean that's kind of cooked. All right, but that's the plan. Make games that you can, like. I imagine like growing up, for example, my mom would buy a physical version of this, right? And I would sneak because obviously you're not supposed to take it, right? I would play with it the night, and then the next day, I would just like slide it into my bag and take it to school, you know. And then during recess, during break, everybody would gather around. I'm like, okay, I got this new toy, and then you know it would be scattered, and then people would be like, oh, let me try to solve, and then we're trying to solve it and moving stuff around, and then people are just like watching, like you're sitting on the desk, and then you've got everyone around you, and they're just like watching as you're like trying to solve it the fastest and stuff. So that's kind of what I imagine. That's why I could have made this UI based. I could have made that UI. I could have done it in UI, but if you do it on UI, like you can't really share the joy with other people. Good times. So a lot of things I do, even though it would be a lot easier to make this in UI, I would just, you know, I won't say thug it out, but I would like, slam it out and just work to make it work like physically, so that other people can see you play and even participate. Like I can set that so that it's not just one person who's playing. This one again, childhood memory, game that I used to play. Try to recreate. Can I fail? Damn. Okay. But yeah, social games, people sharing, making experiences and whatever is the plan. It's the plan. Okay, I want to test my auto reload thing. So I'm gonna get that, and then I'll get one more. So 1, 2, then one there. Okay, come on. I either crash like I'm scared. Wait, is it? Wait. Okay. I mean, it doesn't look like it's doing it. It's not doing anything. This shit is not working. Okay, let's see. Let me check. If this is thingy on cursor interaction, print curse you caps lock. Oh, the cutting bread. Oh, I'm pretty excited how I did that one. 1 second. Player clicked. For this, print 1, and then. Oh, I created a thing, but I didn't give it to the player. Okay. Okay, I kind of see where the problem went. Do Actually, we'll do all of this here. Okay, for this is that comp inventory. No. Okay, right. Do that and then do all of this. Hotbar inventory, equip object. Okay, I need to refresh the brain. So here I have new items. So I should remove all the old items. So I get the hotbar inventory, and then I get all the items. Okay, no, not get equipped items, just get all items. So get all items in this inventory. Yep. And then this will remove all the things in the inventory, and then I would start re-adding them back. So inventory again, and then I would do for item in new items. What the world? Hey, no way. New items. Item. This is just one of those moments where it's something stupid. Oh, okay, I know what it is. Damn. All right. So let's kind of move this all the way up here. There it is. All right. Holy moly. This is what happens when sleep approaches. I'll check this and then I'll explain the cutting bird stuff because it's pretty neat in my opinion. But the challenge at the time for me was how do I make it so that it looks like you can cut a mesh wherever you want? Do I make like do I actually slice the mesh and bring in like all the little pieces and then I'll move the pieces together and stuff? No, you can cut. It should be precise. So I'm like, oh, you can do some material magic and stuff. So I'll just go on a little side quest to explain that material stuff, and then oh, it's already done. Nice. So get this, and this. Then one. So 29. Let's see. Okay, so it removed the items. That's good. But like, you were supposed to add some more back. Player clicked. Damn. It didn't. Oh, I did get equipped items. Okay, same problem. Same problem. Get items is what I need. I love verse, man. It's just I'm not actually familiar with the and the thing is like when I if you're learning SceneGraph or learning anything, I like to say use something as a kind of like use a do a project and use the project to learn your way through it. So learning SceneGraph, everything I've done from there's more stuff in the folders, of course, but like the everything kind of has been to learn a particular aspect of SceneGraph. Like this was learning the whole parenting, like because when I do this, it parents the knife to the board, so it starts rotating with the board. If you were to do this without SceneGraph, holy, it would be a nightmare. So that was what I was learning there. I was learning, setting stuff here. I was learning. No, that was just a special case. And right now with the 1v1 map, I'm actually learning itemization because itemization just dropped, which is like this whole, not just weapons, but itemization. I'm learning itemization in SceneGraph. So we have the SceneGraph module, and if I do Ctrl+A0, we have itemization. Where is it? Unreal Engine? 1 second. Itemization. Oh, it's here. So I'm learning itemization, and when you say learning itemization and stuff, I hope you find some part of it useful at least. When you say learning a thing when it comes to verse, really it's just using the functions and kind of because you wouldn't know the function exists if you haven't seen it before. If you've seen it before, you might have an idea that it exists. If you have perfect memory, you're good, I guess. But if you're not, one of the special people and you're just like the rest of us, then you would want to get some practice. So use it a bunch of times, right? For example, I haven't really ever used get items. I've read through because I started by just reading through all the functions in the module. So I know that it exists, but I haven't this is my first time. This is my first time typing it, and this is my second time typing get items for inventories. So it's all a learning experience. And ideally now I should have um, instant reload. Wait, did it do it? Yep. So, and that was actually so good. Oh my goodness, I'm actually tripping. Because like if you do this with the save device, you would see it put the guns again. Oh wait, no. Clicking on it gives me the gun. I should just click somewhere else to waste the bullets. So when I click on this, it's going to reload the gun and other things in my inventory. And the best part is, which I'm happy, is that it doesn't shift the inventory around because I have like special settings and stuff. So if I pick up the shotgun, it's going to go to this spot here, even though I have like an empty slot because I have all the special settings. But then the instant reload does not mess with the stuff. So I'm going to like waste this. Then waste, oh, sorry, let me turn up the audio. Waste that, and then waste this too. And now I click this, and just like that, my guns are all reloaded. So that is nice. That's actually pretty nice. Okay, so I'll do this too. Nope. It's actually too much. Okay, I'm gonna add SMG here, and then I'll add it to this one as well. If not, it wouldn't reload that SMG. And if I just copy and put a new one, it should show the correct icon. Now the gun showed there for a second because I had to do like this is another thing why I would say practice the thing, like make a project with it so you can learn it. If you don't practice and if I didn't like if it was my first time and I just wrote the code and I'm like, okay, this is the code, it should work. It wouldn't work. And actually that's what happened to me. I spent 6-ish hours wondering why the icon wasn't getting on the thing. That's why I actually made the UI for it. Wait, let me drop this. I made the UI thing because I was like, there's a texture. You should be able to get the texture, but it wasn't working. And then it turns out it's an epic bug where if the item doesn't exist in the world, you can't put the texture in a material. So the workaround that I came up for was when I spawn a thing, I would actually drop the gun in the world, put the texture, and then remove the gun. So I do that, it drops it, puts the texture, and then, I mean, I picked it up, but it would remove it after. Okay, so we got that. And if I do this, it should just reload the gun. Wait, let me put it here and see. Because SMGs for me go into the third slot. I actually want to see if it will put it there. Hopefully it doesn't. It did not. Oh my god, that's so good. That is actually so good. I feel like it's because it's happening so fast. But like if, for example, if I was using a save device to do this, because I have the space, when I reload the weapons, it would it would it would basically do this. It would sort it based on my preferences because I have the preferences. So it would this is what would happen. It would put them all and put the gun there. But this one, using scene graph respects like your setting, like the way you have it in your inventory at the time, and not what you have in your settings. Because a lot of people do have the custom. I said this a very long time ago that I don't even remember where it. There it is. A lot of people have the custom settings for the things, and that has always been a problem. That has always been a problem with regular Fortnite devices. For example, whenever I go into like box fight, Panvel box fight, where they give you a pump and an AR, it always puts the AR in my slot. So every round, literally every round before the game starts, I would always switch. And you could say I stopped playing that map because I didn't like having to switch this stuff every single round. So imagine if that's just me. Imagine other players who probably are, stop playing that particular map because of, it switches their guns around. And I like this too. Anyway, but yeah, the instant reload is done. The next thing I would do is just work to make, because it looks okay, but I'm pretty sure, I know for a fact that some parts of this are not optimized and they take longer than they should. But that's a job for tomorrow. That's a job for tomorrow. Before I go off, I'm going to explain the baguette stuff. Maybe we get some insights on how the things do. So it's all in the material. Yep, it's all in the material, which is not that crazy. Yep, all things considered. So I have a bunch of things here for this. First of all is the fading. Now, you could do the fading in like, oops. I will work on this some other day. You can do the fading in verse. So you could like set the opacity, you could do that. But the thing is, verse runs at a 30 ticks per second rate. So you can do all your calculations, whatever you want in verse, but it's only going to report back to everybody's, hopefully it does, at a 30 ticks per second rate, which is what I have here. I'm monitoring my ticks per second. If your ticks per second goes low, if it drops, you're going to lag. And I can actually show that because I made a lag simulating thing. Lag spike component. And I can increase the intensity. Okay, so lag spike component. I think I don't know if it adds it there. I might need to, actually we'll just increase it and then I'll know if it's working. That should be enough. Oh yeah, it's working. Okay. Let's take that down a bit to 10,000 intensity. So now, like, I'm doing so much stuff, and then my TPS have started dropping. And 28 is fine, it's all right. But once you start going down to like, like abysmal numbers like that, then you start, lagging. So it's up to the developer to. I clicked on that. Oh, yep. Of course. Yeah, it lagged and basically probably skipped over the frame which had the instruction to spawn the next knife. So you kind of want to optimize your game to not your code. This is all code stuff. So terrible code causes the bad TPS. Let me just turn that off. Okay, so yeah, which is why even though it like the thing I did with the where is it? Instant reload, even though this looks good, most people would just be like, oh, I've written it, it looks nice. Let's just leave it at that. You want to think you have this in your game, you have other stuff in your game that is also running. If all the players, if you have a 16-player map and they're getting kills and this function is being called, you don't want this function to be, you know, such a heavy function. It may not seem like it, but there's some things I'm doing in here which are heavier and honestly should not be done. Which number one would be this operation here is probably causing a lot. It should be somewhere else. Anyway, that's like optimization. The need for optimization is important for, you know, reasons. And now, so yeah, if I were to do the flipping stuff, the fade in verse, that's something that I would be putting the load of doing the fade, the fade effects like that as it fades away. I'm putting that load on the server, which is not really that great. Just 30 is, I mean, 30 TPS is great. It's enough. I mean, Arc Raiders is like 20 TPS, 25. CS:GO is like 20. Is it multiplayer 20 TPS server? Just some examples. 30 is not that bad. It's kind of like industry standard actually. But ideally, if something can be put on a more powerful thing, you would put it there and not on the less powerful thing. So a good place to put the fade effect is on the GPU. So on the player's devices, because the GPUs are obviously, even if you have like even if you don't even have a GPU, you can handle that. It will be better to do that than to do, because if you want to set the, you can't write a function that says set the opacity to go down over time. No. You would have to every single tick. So there are 30 ticks in a second. Every single tick, you would have to reduce the opacity by like 0.001, 0.001. And first thing that does is, well, you're putting that load on the server, which ideally just don't. And secondly, the effect would not be very smooth. It would be like, it would basically go at a 30 FPS. And you want to know what 30 FPS is? Look at my icon on the skin, on the cat. That icon is updating at 30 FPS. That's why it looks like that when it moves. Because it's updating to the cat's position. Like the icon shows you where the cat is, but then in, you know, with the control rig, it actually, like the cat animates to the position smoothly on your screen. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I put the fade in the material so that I just don't unnecessarily, you know, for two reasons. Number one, so it doesn't bug the server. It's not like a big bug, to be honest. The server can handle a lot of stuff, but ideally just don't. Save where you can. And second is because it would just be infinitely smoother when done in the material. So how I'm doing the fade is basically based on the height of the stuff. So if I go here and I start taking this down, it's going to start at some point fading away. So based on the height of the object, so I get the object position, and then I get the I get the object position in the world, and I actually have like two settings here. First one is either a gradient fade, which was how I made it at first, and then after watching the TikToks a bunch more times, I realized that the whole bread fades away as it goes down. So as it goes down, the whole thing fades away. But initially, I made it so that it's like, well, I mean, I can only show it, but part of it fades, and then like the other part doesn't go. This was how I made it fade away as it went. So it would go like this, and then, you know, but I realized after watching, the whole bread fades away, so I changed it up. So based off of the position of the bread, it will fade. Now the thing is, with SceneGraph, you could actually spawn new Like I can make a game where you can be moving around, and if you can like wherever you are, you can just spawn that thing and it would just start working. Like you would spawn it in front of you. I could make a game like that. So thinking ahead about players could be up there, players could be down there. I've made it so that um when the game starts, so when I put in another one, it will get its position at that time and it would set it here. And then I'll just do the math to offset where it fades from. So that's the fade out part of the thing, of the effect. And then next would be the actual slicing of the bread, which is right here. If I connect this directly, we can preview. Oh yeah. Okay. You know, let me just do this. So you take the texture coordinate. The texture coordinate just basically says the mapping of the flat texture to whatever geometry or mesh the texture is on. So you take the texture coordinate, it looks like this. It's a gradient. Oh, let's disconnect this. It's a gradient. And well, you kind of use this a lot because that's one of the easiest ways you get a gradient. Otherwise, if you put a static value, then it would be the value all through the whole surface. But the texture, not any coordinate system, any coordinate you decide to, but the most common is the texture coordinate. It's a gradient, so it's 0 here, it's 1 here on the x, it's 1 here on the y, and then it's 1, 1 here on the x and y. So usually you can like mask just says, okay, I only want to see the x, so you turn off the y, and then it's like 0 here to 1 horizontally. You turn on the y and turn off the x, and then it's 0 here and 1 here vertically. So what I did is I took the stuff and I just get the from here to here. So I know the start and the end of the bread because I made the bread to literally start like 2 pixels from the very edge to the very edge. That was the first thing I did. I made the bread thingy in to start. I mean, I took the stuff and then I rearranged the picture so it starts perfectly edge to edge. So now I know that this is the start of the bread and this has a value. This point on this mesh will have a value of 0, and this is the end of the bread and has a value of 1. So now if I took like an if node is kind of like you can check for if something is greater than this or it's less than this. So if I were to put this here and then I just put 1 and 0. 1 second. Okay. So I have this value now, and I'm saying if the because it does it per pixel or like per point. So if the point that it's checking is greater than this value, if A is greater than B, then show 1. 1 is white. If it's less, then show 0. Now 0, if it's equal, is also automatically going to show this one in front. So that's why for the 0 points, you kind of still see 1. 1 is white, black is 0 is black. But if I start turning this up, I can now start, like if I set it to half point, 0.5. So everything that is lower than 0.5 will be black. Everything that's higher than 0.5 will be white. You can also do this with textures, by the way. I didn't mention, but I could do like a, let me put Mona Lisa here. So everything that is lower than 0.5 should be the Mona Lisa. So it would only show the Mona Lisa part of the half part, and then everything that is the thing, show that. So, but I'm just doing 0 and 1 because I'm like, if you had a texture, let's put 1 here, and let's put 1 here. If you had a texture So again, it's just like, again, it's also just math, right? So if you have a number and you multiply it by 1, it's the same number. If you have a number and you multiply it by 0, then it's 0, so no number. And a texture is just like the Mona Lisa, for example here. It's just a combination of the parts that are white are going to be red here. There's red here. There's no red here. There's some amount of red here. The grays are the in-betweens, right? If I view the green channel, then there's green here. There's no green here, and then the in-betweens. If I view the blue channel, then there's not that many blue here. And then when you now combine these amounts of red, like when you mix the colors, mix red by this amount, mix blue by this amount, mix green by this amount, you get the color fully. So if you were to like multiply this entire block by 0, then there wouldn't be anything there. So if I did this, there wouldn't be anything there. So that's how I'm able to like swipe through. So all I do is just, I set up 2 sections for the upper bounds. Well, let me do this. So I have 2 sections. For the upper bounds, if I bring this down, I can like come in from the right. That's my right. I can come from the right, and if I take this up, I can go in from the left. So I just set up the material to just, have going from the left, going from the right. And then all that was left to do was just hook this up going from the left. So I did the mask and I put that in the opacity. So if I turn this up, it's going to, because it's the same with the opacity. If you say, okay, this part should be 1, then that means, if I plug the opacity here, this part should be 1. Oh, let me actually remove this stuff. This part should be 1. That means show this object here. And then if it's 0 or black, that means don't show this object. Like this part should be transparent. So just doing the setup again, and I'm able to chop the bread from here, and I can also chop it from the other side too. So then all that was left to do was to just go inverse and set up, set up like some logic so that whenever, another thing I did was I made it so that the mesh, like the plane that the bread is on, is exactly 100 units wide. So it's 100 units across. So the reason I did that is because all I have to do is then have this knife just go 100 units to the left and 100 units back. And then when you press click to like say, I want to cut here, wherever you cut, I take that as the percentage of where you are. So if you go halfway, that's going to be 50 units. So that's 50%. If you go like a quarter, that's going to be 25 units to the left. So that's 25%. So in verse, I just, get wherever I get the current point. And again, this is also something, I mean, you could do it without SceneGraph. The thing, yeah, you can kind of, I mean, it's just going to be so much harder, honestly. But in SceneGraph, where you can like parent this thing to this one, when you parent, parenting stuff, if you just drop a thing in the world, like this note, for example, is just directly, everything like this is just directly under the world, then it's going to have its origin at the world origin, which is right here. But if you made it a child of something, then that thing would become its parent and also its origin. So the knife is a child of this board. So the knife is actually sitting at, hold up, I need to click on the knife. The knife is sitting at 0, 0, 0 because the parent is the board and the origin of the board is right there. So if I move the knife to, by 100 to the left, so this is 50 units to the left, and then this is 100 units to the left. So a full thingy. I can tell where you're cutting, and all I just do is just the logic is when you cut, I stop the knife, I get the knife's location, which tells me the percentage of where you cut. So basically it plays the animation, it's just going back and forth, it's just going back and forth, and then you cut. I check first if you can slice, so like you cannot spam cut the thing. So if when you cut, I would set, okay, you can't slice. That way, if you try to do another cut, it will just check, oh, you can't slice, it'll just end the function there. And then I would pause the animation, and then I would play this is the knife play, like the one that goes up, so that it would do the cutting thing. And then I would get its location, and then I would just all that happens and check the get state. So I get the current knife position, I divide it by 100, so I can get a percentage from 0 to 1, because my material takes 0 to 1, from the left and from the right, whatever things. And then I just handle like the math for it. And the math is, first of all, for each bread state, like when the game hasn't reset or anything, I'm keeping a track of the lowest point and the highest point. Because the thing about the bread cut, especially since you're always taking away the biggest chunk, is that you're just always going to either, like, let me see, you're always going to be like going like this, and like this, and like this, and like this, or like this, and like this, or, but basically you will never have like a section here and then a gap in between, because you're always taking the biggest chunk. So I'm keeping track of the lowest point currently and the highest point. And then I just check if where you cut is within, like between both of them. I just made like a little helper function which checks if the value is higher than the lower and lower than the, sorry, if the value is higher than the lower bound, and if the value is lower than the higher bound, then you're within the, you're within range. And if you are, then I would first of all say, okay, you actually cut the bread, and then I would run a function to decide which part to drop. So I need to get the I basically will get the position and just do this math, which simply says just check which part is bigger of the two. Like where you cut, which part, was it the left part that's bigger or the right part that's bigger? And then the magic trick for how it cuts and looks like it's cutting is that I would spawn a new bread in front. Like I would spawn a new plane in front of the old one. I can't duplicate, but I would spawn a new plane in front of the old one. And then I would set in the material of the new plane, I would set it so that, it matches the half that is supposed to drop. And then I will set the one behind, which is pretty much what's going to stay there, to match the half that was supposed to stay. And then I would just make the new one. Well, I don't make the new one, but the way I have my stuff do the thing is that when the new one spawns and it adds this fragment component, when it just exists, it just starts going down. So it would just go down. This is like go down like negative 80 units, and once you're done going down, just delete yourself. So that's it. That's the secret there. Spawn a new one, set the settings to match the other half, and then like when it spawns, it just starts going down on its own, and then when it goes down, it deletes itself. So yeah, just then there were two baguettes, one in front of the other, but it's like in front, perfectly in front, so it just matches. You can't even see. Maybe you can. Oh, wait, I need to press the flipping. I made this, and I think this one too. Like I made these before I made my cursor stuff. So that's why they have interactable components. All right, let's see. I don't like the interactable component. It's all right, but honestly, it's just finicky, too finicky. Okay, so I can click. I don't know if you saw it, but like, oh no. Nah, it's spawning another one like pretty much right on top of, not like right on top. Where is it? Spawn. Add component. Like drop fragment. Yeah, so this is where it's creating a new one, and it just creates a new one right exactly on top of the old one, and then it drops the old one. Yeah, so might not be, you know, the the way you might have thought it would have been going, but that is the way it's happening. It is just materials and simple dropping thing. Initially, I had thought to, like, it would be a good saving to already have both of them there and not, because right now it spawns a new one, drops it, and deletes it. People would say, no, have both of them there, and then just like when they cut, set like the settings on the second one, move it, reset it, and put it back. But like, I mean, I probably, eh, eh, yeah. Maybe I would do that now. I was still learning SingGraph then. Maybe I would do that now. Maybe I won't. But ideally, the game should handle that, because like once it deletes itself from here, it should go out of memory and eventually get garbage collected. So it shouldn't really be a problem. Yeah, if the game is working as it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, and yeah, that's the end of the explanation of the thing. It's currently 12:16 for me. 12, 15, 45, 45, 46. Let me see if I can get this. No. Because this is down to the... This should be down to the second, right? But I'm thinking it was like, it should be correct down to the second. Either my my clock isn't correct, or it was when I did the whole lagging thing that just did something to it. And I did a lagging spike. 29, 30. Yeah, okay, there we go. Oh. Oh well. Oh, that is the time for me. Oh, no, that's not the time for me. This is the time for me. So I am going to call it a night here. See you guys later. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your nights and stuff, if it's nighttime, because for some people it's just evening still. Thank you, thank you. Tomorrow I will do what I said and finish the notes and finish my next tweet. Yep. Cheers, everyone.